Hello everyone, it is me, Rizzyrez, and there are a lot of categories that we can separate the certain characters in Ben 10. Although, one of the categories that I think doesn't get as much recognition is the hottest characters. So that's what we'll be counting down today. My top 5 hottest Ben 10 characters. Don't think there's much need for like a lengthy intro or any really explaining to do for this video, so let's just jump right into it. Remember, like and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subs in 2023. And yeah, let's just jump right into it. Coming in at number 5 on my list is Esther. And now, you may think to yourself, well, what makes Esther so hot? I mean, she's literally wearing like a snow gear outfit, so wouldn't she be very cold? Well, no. Here's my logic behind it, alright? I'm using my 1,000 IQ thoughts, right? So, Esther is a species called the Kraho, right? And they are very, like, resistant creatures to, like, different temperatures. And if we saw in the episode that she was introduced in Hot Stretch, she was actually living in like the deepest like parts of Undertown in like this bunker place, and they have very like humid and warm environments. And now this is my thought, right? So in a wiki it lists that she has heat resistance and cold resistance. Now, what is a type in Pokemon that can resist both fire and ice? Fire. So surely she has some sort of an organ or something in her body to make her something related to a fire creature. So yeah, that is why Esther is number 5, my hottest Ben 10 character. Number 4 on my list is Kevin 11,000 and Devlin. Basically just all the family of the Kevin family, the Levin family, right? And here's my reasoning, right? It's specifically their mutated forms. Well, Kevin's kid mutated form, Devlin's kid mutated form, and Kevin 11,000's mutated form. And the reason why I chose these is because of their Heat Blast attributes, their Pyronite attributes on them. So, and as we know, Pyronites are literally just like living magma creatures, literally magma beings. So obviously they're going to be very hot and very, very warm. So yeah, that is why specifically Kevin 11,000 and Devlin, their amalgam forms, are my top number 4 hottest Ben 10 character. Number 3 on my list is Gwen. Now, much like Esther, you might think to yourself saying, well, again, what makes Gwen so hot? I mean, she's more magic or inanodite or whatever, if you want to have this debate. She's magic rather than fire. Well, here's my explanation. I'm specifically talking about 10-year-old Gwen in the classic episode Gwen 10. It's a parallel timeline episode where instead of Ben finding the Omnitrix, Gwen did. And now in this episode, the first alien she transforms into, much like Ben, is Heat Blast, or her own version of Heat Blast. And this is why I chose Gwen as my number 3, because obviously Pyronites are very hot. They're made of like plasma, and they've got like magma rocks all over them. And since she's now like a full Pyronite, I would figure that she's probably even hotter than the Kevin saga, is what I'll call them. Because now she gets the added bonuses of like fire kinesis and like all those other abilities that Pyronites have. And while I didn't really want to use Ben's aliens for this list, I just wanted to use the characters, I will use other characters' aliens because it's not Ben. So that is my reasoning for that. Also, when Gwen transformed into a Pyronite form, she was very good with Heat Blast and was very experienced, unlike Ben, who kind of burnt down the forest. Gwen was very good with her, or him, or it. So yeah, maybe her flame burns brighter than Ben's does. So that is why Gwen is number 3 on my list. Number 2 on my list is Alan Albright. And yes, I have put 3 Pyronite attributed beings in the same, in the consistent order. But listen, Pyronites are very frequent in the Ben 10 universe, and they are also very hot. So that's why they've earned like a lot of spots on my hottest list, right? Now, the difference with Alan though that he has is that meanwhile, while Gwen, she had the Omnitrix, right? And she can sometimes transform into her Heat Blast. And Kevin is kind of like a 10th of Heat Blast or whatever that means. This time, right? Alan, he can just shift in and shift out of Heat Blast, and that's the only form that he has. And he's basically always Heat Blast. So he might be a bit more experienced to be able to train more often, while Gwen might have to like switch between the other aliens to train more often. So I think that's why I would put Alan above Gwen. As I said before, he's a lot more experienced and he can train more often. He's part of the Plumbers, and he's also part of the Max Force, and he's been taught by Ben, so he's got lessons from the best, right? And also, Ben even taught him how to terraform the earth below him, and then to fly, and eventually he just learned how to fly without having to use the chunk of the ground. So yeah, Alan, he's had a lot of experience as being Heat Blast or a Pyronite form, so that is why Alan Albright is my number 2 hottest Ben 10 character. And for my number 1 spot for the hottest Ben 10 character, officially, this is the official rankings, alright? My hottest Ben 10 character is Pandora. As we all know, Pandora is the DNA donor for NRG for Ben's Omnitrix. And Pandora is a what is this name? Pripotosian bee. Okay, I don't know who came up with that. But he's a Pripotosian bee, and he's one of the Andromeda 5. As we know, the Andromeda 5 is very strong, and Pandora is basically just living radiation, right? He's just a person that's made out of fire and radiation, you know? If you touch him, you probably die. He possesses radiokinesis, nucleokinesis, and intense heat generation. Plus, he also has fire and radiation resistance, or immunities actually. So, clearly he's on some other level of hotness. Pandora is so hot and dangerous that he has to be kept in this full body containment suit. And this containment suit, it can only, we know it can only be cut into by Titanite, which is Ben 10's version of their hardest and strongest rock or mineral. So clearly we need to be studying what this containment suit is if it's able to hold in Pandora. Yes, I know the Krahos were able to open up his suit by pulling it open with their stretchy arms, but listen, I already mentioned why Esther is very hot. So obviously the other Krahos are also going to be very hot. But even in that full body suit, he can still fire off these fire energy something radiation beams out of the 3 vents on his head. So even with this full body suit, he's still strong, and he can even turn the ground below him into a pool of lava and make an eruption. Pandora is something else. He can also eat these energy things and get bigger and stronger. I don't know what these things are, but did anyone else watch this episode as a kid and kind of think that those things look pretty delicious? Or is that just me? Anyways, all of these factors added up with his radiation and his fire and a containment suit, because he's so hot and dangerous, added up clearly makes Pandora the number 1 hottest Ben 10 character. And that is a fact. So there we have it. That is my top 5 and the official top 5 hottest Ben 10 characters. This video is completely factual. This video is very, very serious. It's not a joke at all. And I don't know why anyone would think that I'm not being incredibly serious when I'm recording this video. This is a completely factual video that everyone needs to watch. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Again, 1,000 subs in 2023, that'd be really cool. And I'll also release a video tomorrow, which is not Ben 10 related, it'll be Pokemon related. So I know my channel is based on Ben 10, but I want to try something new. I'm still going to keep with the Ben 10, but I'll do something different. And this one is pretty exciting because we'll start something quite big. So that's all I got to say for now. So until next time, I'll see you later. Peace.